All right, we're gonna start assembly now. So the first thing we gotta do is get all the electronics soldered up. I spent some time pulling apart the cloth pushback wire. You'll see here why in a second, but I got the two caps set. The pots are on the control plate and as the three-way switch. So we talked, or I did anyhow, I talked to Pops and I wanted to make sure which wiring scheme he wanted to go with, because you got the modern wiring and the vintage, and I always like vintage. That's what he wanted, was the vintage, so I have it set up for that. So if we take a look at this wiring diagram, you got your white wire coming in from your input jack going to the center lug on the pot closest to the three-way switch. We're obviously not doing that yet because we're not installing it into the guitar body, but if you look, you have a white wire lead going from this outer lug on the pot here to the outer lug on a pot here. Another white wire jumping around, coming up through into the second lead on the three-way switch. So what I did is I took the cloth pushback wire and I got this all set up. I used the yellow on all the caps just so nothing will bump and ground out and short it out. This cap here goes through both of the leads on the back of the three-way switch and then is grounded to the pot. So that's why I have this little alligator clamp holding this, because we're gonna have to ground that down to the pot and then solder both of these leads. I got this cap going through both of those leads, and then I got this cap protected with the cloth pushback wire. So you just pull the wire out. And anyways, long story short, that is set up on the center lug and the outer lug, so we'll have to solder those two as well. And then we have the white cloth pushback going from outer lug to outer lug, and then out and around and up into the second lead, just like they show here. And I'm hoping I'm right. It's got directions, so anyways, so we're gonna have to make all these soldering connections. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 soldering connections to make right now. And then you guys remember on my last soldering, all I had was this big giant flathead screwdriver. So I ordered a bunch of tips, but they don't fit. They're too damn big. So I had to file for a return on those. But luckily I did find my other tips, and I have this one in here, and I'm kind of hoping that it works because this one is awful tiny. Excuse me, just drink a pop. I may have to take some cutters and trim that down a little bit until I can actually find a set of tips that will fit in this soldering gun. But anyways, let's go ahead and get you guys set up here to where we can see what's going on. Let me see, zoom times 3. Yeah, it took me a minute to get all the cloth pushback wire and stuff on here, but I really like taking the time to put the cloth on all these wires, so if anything does get bumped or whatever, it's not going to short out and ground out, because you can see how close that is. And try to keep it down as close as I can, because when you shove it into the guitar cavity, you're not going to see when it gets smashed down and what it's going to touch. So it's always best to go ahead and protect yourself and get all your leads covered the best that you can. And I'm hoping that this will work. I'm not sure. Like I said, that's an awful tiny little tip there. I don't know, maybe I go ahead and just try to chop some off now, maybe? I don't know. That might help. The other way, it was way too small. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's see, which ones can you guys see? You can see this outer one. So I'll go ahead and try, see what happens here. and clean my tip off. I think chopping the tip of that off helped a lot. It was so pointy. Now I gotta see. Did I get that? It appears so. I'm gonna go ahead and do this other connection just to make sure it doesn't move on me. Yeah, got that one good for sure. I'll go ahead and hit the back side of it just a little bit there. All right, so that one is done. Let me go ahead and zoom out just a smidgen. I'm gonna go ahead and check this connection, make sure it's in there good, and it is. So I'm gonna get in here and snip this off. Go in here, snip this one off. All right, so now let's go ahead and move that one up out of the way a little bit. Now I guess we're gonna go ahead and, oop, wrong way again. Boy, I gotta get used to this. All right, we're gonna go ahead and hit these two connections now. That one's done good. Yeah, that one's good too. Just try to clean it up. Boy, it's hard to see, it's tiny. All right, clean the tip off, set that back down. We'll go ahead and trim this little tit off there. Okay, so those are done. Let me make sure I'll pull the wire back a little bit. Just check that connection. I'm going to hit that again just to make sure it melted into the hole nice and good there. Alright, I'm happy with that. Kinda. Yeah, now I am. Alright, clean the tip again. Alright, the next one. You're probably not going to be able to see the next one because I'm going to have to solder the big point 1 down to the pot, and it's pretty hard to move this thing around, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get this grounded down here, and we're gonna have to add a pickup wire to this later as well. And I screwed myself on this. So you know what I forgot to do? Is scuff up the top of the pot. I think we're still good though. Let's let that cool down and I'll see if it stuck. If it didn't, I'll go ahead and scuff the top of that pot with a file. Let's let go of that. Nope, it held good. So let's go ahead and tilt that. Let's see if you guys can see. There we go. So that is done. Go ahead and snip this off. So what else we got left? We got 1, 2, 3 more there. Can you see? Yeah, it's kind of behind that cap there. Go ahead and tilt it over just a little bit more for you. All right, we're gonna go ahead and hit this connection back here. Yeah, that's nice. Go ahead and trim that off. We're gonna go ahead and get those next. Actually, I'm gonna take my needle nose and pull this back just a little bit there. Actually, it'd probably be easier if I use this alligator clip because the cloth is kind of screwing me a little bit right there. Yeah, I'm gonna use the longer one here. easier to bend. Because I don't want the cloth up against that eyelet. There we go. So now I'll be able to get plenty of solder without the cloth obstructing me. I've had plenty of coffee and RC colas today, so I'm rattling like the last leaf on an autumn tree. Alright, clean the tip, and that should be a nice good connection there, and it is. So we're going to go ahead and trim those tits off the back side there. Are you still seeing good? Yes, you are. So let's move over here to this three-way switch and hit this connection over here. I'm going to go ahead and get that. Well, let me see. I can't see. I'm going to go ahead and use this alligator clip to hold the cloth back again, because when it's up against the eyelet, kind of screws you from getting the solder in there. Okay. Let's go ahead and hit that now. And that looks pretty good. Yep. Alright, clean the tip. Set the gun back down. Yeah, that's a nice good connection. I'm going to go ahead and clip off the little tit on the outside there. Now we get to route this wire down and then back around. Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit here, and then I'll bring you guys in for a closer look. Alright, so whoa, there we go. Got that one done, that one done, that one over there done. Both of those. We're grounded to the pot. We're through both leads there, and the white is there. So what else do we got left here? We're going to have to get the pickups on and the input jack, and that's it. So the black wire is going to ground off on this back pot. We're going to zoom out a little bit more there. So black wire from the input jack is going to go here. The white wire from the input jack is going to go on a center lug on there. And then we are going to have to take a small piece of wire and jump these two. So what we'll do is some of the wire that I took out of, boy, I can't get a hold of it. Some of the wire that I took out of the cloth pushback to use for protection on these leads, we'll just feed that through and leave it long when we put the pickup on there. That way we can solder those three joints at the same time and then just trim it off. So there we go, guys. That is my first Fender soldering job thus far. I like using the cloth pushback and stuff. I think it makes it look really clean, and again, it also protects it from grounding out on anything, and you don't have to worry about when you shove it down into the guitar. If it pushes anything, these leads aren't going to touch and short you out. So tell me what you guys think. Did I do a good job? I hope so. Let's go back here to 0.6 and take this off and take a good look at it. So we will have to put a little jumper wire there, like I said, once we get the pickup on there. But that's it so far. All the connections are nice and tight. And I did have to modify these pots. They had a little tit that stuck down, so I had to trim those off in order for the pot to sit flat. Now this had 500Ks on it, those little tiny dinky ones. These are 250K alpha pots. Dad said he got these straight from Fender, and this is what they used and recommended for the 61s, because that's what he's putting in here. So he wants to be as close to period correct as he possibly can for 64. I'm sorry, I have 64s up there too. I don't know why I was thinking 61, but yeah, 64 is what he's trying to go, is period correct as he possibly can. So that's what we got so far. The body is polished. I guess I go ahead and turn this off so I'm not burning my gun up. So I did get the body all polished and it looks really good. The neck is clean. We did order some Kluson Revolution tuners for this. I've had several comments. Dad knew they were junk. I knew they were junk. A couple of you guys knew they were junk. He didn't want to change them because he said they worked fine, even though he didn't like them. It's really hard to find a tuner that is better than that. I mean, you can pretty much get the same thing that are flat with a F note on them, but they're just the same junk that's on there. So why spend $70-80 on the same junk with an F note? But the Kluson Revolution ones, like we have on a couple of these over here. So my 50s Standard has the Kluson Revolutions, and so does your guys' Blue Tribute build. Now he had the option of getting the locking ones or ones without the lockers, and we're going to opt for the ones without the lockers just to keep it more kind of period correct and just be able to upgrade the tuner and have a nicer tuner on it. So we will be changing that as well. The other thing that's going to hold us up is we're going to go ahead and countersink a hole in that, maybe, for the neck adjuster, and get a neck plate with the adjuster screw in it instead of messing around with neck shims. So that will probably be one of the next projects we do, is drilling that neck pocket out and getting a adjuster in there. I still have to polish this up. I did get, it's all fingerprinted now, but I did get that all polished up with the brass awl. I did use the original screws that came in this for the three-way switch because they're nice and short. Fender sent these big giant ones. They're like an inch long, and I didn't want them sticking up into the cavity. It was nice they sent both tips as well. Obviously we're going to be using the black one, but it's well on the way. So that's it for now. Tomorrow we have, let me see if tomorrow we're going to have a couple guitars showing up here on the show. I'm going to need your guys' help with these, so, well, they're going to be showing up tonight about 8:30 tonight, but tomorrow we're going to start digging into these two guitars. I'll tell the story tomorrow when I show them to you, but two really nice guitars that I'm going to need your guys' help with, so stay tuned for that. Wednesday we're going to Earthquaker. We're going to tour the plant and check out how all the pedals are made from beginning to end. All the circuit boards being soldered, different stations where they do all the dipping for the solder and powder coating, assembly. Get to see everything. So we're going to Earthquaker on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. Got a guitar show coming up next Sunday. So there's going to be a lot of different things happening. It's going to be a busy week. We're going to try to get as much as we can done on this. We're waiting for the tuners and the neck pocket adjuster, but we should be able to get the pickups, the pick guard, and the control cavity and everything all put into that body, get the strap locks back on it, because I don't think that'll hold us up. The neck adjuster and the tuners, I don't think that'll hold us up from finishing the body and getting the electronics and stuff in it. So stay tuned for that, guys. That is my very first Fender soldering job, so hopefully you guys approve of it. I think it came out pretty good. So till then, don't forget to like and subscribe and stay tuned. Like I said, we got a lot of things coming up, a lot of projects to do, and I'm trying my best to balance out work, life, and hobby. So stay tuned, and thank you guys for watching.